What's that picture? Just noticed that picture. I hadn't really paid that much attention to what's like around here. Come on, go over. Man, would you look at those cobwebs? Is that young Sam Flynn and his late and Flynn's late wife? Anyway, hey, what's going on, everyone? This is DJ Akadash here. Welcome back to Tron Identity. This, as the title suggests, this is the last playthrough. I mean, I don't foresee needing to play this again, for the channel at least. But I did want to play this one last time for a few reasons. One, because there was one route for both Grish and Cass that I haven't gotten yet. The one for Grish being the most intriguing to me because from what I recall, apparently, like the way it looks, apparently if you just, like, if you refuse, hey there, if you refuse his help at the beginning, then he just, apparently that just makes him your enemy, even if you de-res proxy. So, that's what I'm looking at. Oh my gosh. And then, so Cass dying, Cass being locked up, Cass surviving. Those are three different, and going with you are 3 of 4 fates for Cass, and the fourth one, I imagine, is if we just part ways. So that's what I'm seeing. But anyway, and then the other reason I wanted to play this again was because I just saw the trailers for Tron Catalyst, which interestingly I hadn't actually watched the trailers for it. But then when I actually saw the trailers, I was a bit over the moon, shall we say, because I had supposed that Query, your character in this game, and the character in Catalyst, Exo, were related. Not only because both games take place in the Arc grid, but also because both programs are black. Now I know that's not the biggest piece of evidence, or that's not like the most defining piece of evidence, but just given the correlation, it was worth considering. And as it turns out, they are connected at least. And it kind of looks like Query, and I was so excited when I saw Query in the trailer. And I heard a male voice speaking. And then a female voice speaking, which I could only assume was Exo. But I didn't put together who the male voice was. And then later it shows none other than Query himself talking to Exo. And apparently a good amount of time has passed or something, because Query's got like this full-on beard and he looks older. So, and compared to this game where he looks like a fairly younger program. And so I'm just kind of like, huh, so is like Query like Exo's father or Exo's older brother or something? Which again, just like, how exactly does that work? Like, program speaking, like family trees and all that. Like, how does that work exactly? But anyway, but yeah, I'm just over the moon about it. So one more playthrough of this game, completing the different routes, and also just seeing this through the lens of what I've seen in the trailers for Catalyst. So no, we're not going to skip the intro. Also, the gameplay for Catalyst looks pretty cool. And we do have a name for presumably the archvillain, which is a program named Khan. He's part of the administrative the administration of the art grid, named Core. Oh, written and directed by Mike Bithell, and Bithell is the name of the dev team for this game. Except I think it has only one L in the game logo. Okay. Welcome to the grid program. To progress this story, press the next button. You can read at your own pace. Yeah, I know. Ready to begin. Initializing. It's a cold night in the city. Nothing new there. You pull your coat tighter. Feel the heat of its glow. A small comfort against the brittle rain. Across the park stands a repository, a grand building. It stands sentinel among all surrounding it. This is architecture as power play, a statement made in light and stone. It's also where you'll be working tonight. You step forward, taking in the data trees that flank your path. Also, something interesting is there appear to be, like, in the trailer for Catalyst, there appear to be, like, actual, like, automobiles or something, like a Tron version of an automobile. Which the closest thing we got for that was the Light Runner in Legacy. But these were like full on like the whole thing, the whole chassis, or is all covered and stuff. But anyway, you step forward, taking in the data trees that flank your path. I love the writing in this game. Suddenly, the screech of tires against asphalt to your left, the rhythmic pulse of a light cycle at full speed. You turn, seeing cold blue light racing towards you. Cool. Hold your ground. Dive out of its way. You throw yourself back, feeling the front of the cycle clip your coat. Laughter now, interspersed with the engine roar. You dodged the light cycle. Thank the user saw and found that entertaining. Two more cycles race past, pursuing the first. Their yellow light marks them as core peacekeepers, enforcers. You doubt it'll end well for the laughing racer. Yeah, and seeing that core are the antagonist faction of the antagonist faction in Catalyst. That also casts us all in a new light, huh? You stand up, brush yourself off. If things ever go off the rails, you'd be good at the games. Also, that kind of makes it just, yeah, you doubt it'll end well for the laughing racer. Yeah, especially, yeah. Good at dodging, anyway. You push forward, more gingerly now. The park has fallen silent again. Good. Now, how in the world, Buster, are you gonna still want to kill me after, like, you know, after killing Proxy? Anyway, anyway. At the entrance to the repository stands a slab of a security program. His armor is scuffed and scratched, as is his face. A cruel smirk is attempting to break through his clenched jaw. Oh, yeah. I feel like I've seen... Maybe I'm thinking of... I don't know. I guess maybe partially I'm thinking of like the cars you see in the movie Minority Report. Bit of trouble on the road there, Chief. Wakes you up. Smirnoff. This has got like lemon and lime or something. Apparently Smirnoff is the most common surname in Russia. So like Jones and Smith and like, you know, common last names like that. Apparently Smirnoff is the one in Russia. He laughs. Dodge the light cycle. Long time since I saw someone hit the dirt with that much force. Good reflexes. The laughing stops and is replaced by a stern frown. Can I help you? Greetings, program. Cute. You can tell from the scowl that crosses the program's face that he hasn't one for proper greetings. That is one I haven't tried before, that option. Who are you? You flash your badge. 4 squares arranged in a T. It designates you as a member of the Disciples of Tron, a detective. No boss, no assigned task, but uncovering truths. A professional observer. And given how easily I take down Proxy later, my idea that Query is the one who trains Exo in Catalyst, I'm pretty sure I'm onto something. My name's Query. Your boss called me in. Something happened here. Something big enough to bring in outside help. The program is taken aback. He steps forward from the door and motions you in. Now, the one thing I don't like about the writing is the rather common misuse of commas, but again, that's common. Anyway, and motions you in. You could have sworn you saw the light in his eyes pulse with frustration. Yeah, Ivan is also the Russian version of John. This isn't going to be an easy night. This will be easier if you work with me. No answer. The program slams the door behind you, reactivating its glowing lock. No escape. Definitely not going to be an easy night. The lobby of the repository is beautiful. It demonstrates the same power as the exterior. Grish hustles you into the elegant space. You note that it is empty, quiet. You work here? I do. You look around. How long? Enough cycles that my beard turned gray. Grish looks tired. It must have already been a long night. He growls. It wasn't my call to bring you in. I had this handled. I was about to begin my investigation. Investigating what? You've been told nothing? I get, maybe I know more than I'm letting on. I wasn't spawned yesterday. I know an ignorant program when I see one. You can tell Grish isn't used to dealing with inquiries like yours. He ushers you past the lobby's vacated front desks towards an elevator. We've moved all non-essential staff to a secure location. I've been ordered to send you up to Prince. He runs this tower, and he's taken the events of the night very personally. You'd think they'd stolen from his own personal collection. Maybe, the way he sees it, that's exactly what happened. There's been a robbery? That's right. Someone picked tonight to steal something precious from us. Prince will fill you in on the details. I don't know them all yet either. Mm-hmm. I guess that's fair. It's like commas are meant to convey your pausing in your speech, but then again, there are rules of when you're technically supposed to use them and when you're not. I guess I guess those moments where I want to show that I'm pausing, but it's technically not grammatically correct to put a comma, is when I insert an ellipses. I heard the explosion, activated the lockdown, and put things in order. Since then, I've been out here, securing the perimeter and waiting for you to show up. Took you long enough. Must take you a long time getting places when you have to keep diving to the curb like that. Not graceful. Funny, though. Why'd you go outside? I need some ventilation. Figured maybe I'd get lucky and see a perp escaping. Did you? A head shake. Nope. Grish moves to the elevator. Keypad to its side awaits activation. He reaches out his hand to the panel. It hovers, a sharp intake of breath. What? Is there a problem? Grish stands in front of the panel, looking at it, then back to you. He's confused. So I guess we could say that his mind is racing because he forgot his code, in which case he's having a brain fart. Anyway. Oh, hey, welcome to the stream. Appreciate it. He catches himself. Confusion turning into frustration. Since the explosion, I've been missing things. Manners, memories. If you say manners, he just goes, watch it. Just like, yes. I don't know if it's got anything to do with the explosion, but my memory access is failing me. There are holes. Your DOT, you said? You can defragment identity disks, can't you? Recover memories? I can. Do what needs to be done. Here, take it. He hands you his disc, grudgingly. Let's see, my target is 1. Okay. Cool. Get to triangle 0. Yeah, a little bit. I feel like maybe once upon a time people used to, but these days we kind of just tend to dance around and tend to circumlocute, as it were. I think part of it is like some of us, we just feel like we're walking on eggshells all the time. We're afraid of offending people and stuff. You hand the disc back. Grish takes it, replaces it on his back. A slight pulse in his eyes signals the data refresh. Got it. Grish gives the slightest of nods. It's the closest you'll be getting to a thank you. He taps the code into the elevator, unlocking it. I've unlocked repeat access rights for you. You'll be able to travel to any location Prince allows. Any other gaps in your memory? Grish grunts. He's clearly frustrated to have shown this weakness to you. You move towards the elevator, but Grish puts out a heavy hand, blocking your path. I'm not going to let you do this without me. That's not your call to make. I'm the one between you and the door, program. I doubt this will really make a difference, but I've never actually chosen this one before. How fast are you with a disc? I'm faster with my fists. Don't test me. Don't put yourself in my way. You push forward. He's surprised. I work alone. You refuse Grish's help. You'll regret this, program. Grish's eyes flare. I'm sorry. I'm going to warn Prince about you, about your lack of respect of how things work here. Gee, thanks. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the, Ocarina of Time. Definitely haven't had this much activity on the channel, really, and over one thing in a while, which makes perfect sense. Okay, so it does seem, regardless of what happens from here on out, whether or not Grish is your enemy is based on this choice right here. Whether he helps you, or whether you let him help you or not. However, even if you let him help you, you can still betray his trust, and then he'll turn on you. But it seems regardless, if you choose, nah, I work alone, you've antagonized him permanently? Is that what it... Interesting. He steps into the elevator, slams a fist into the panel, and is whisked off. Moments later, the elevator returns, empty. It's time to visit the man who called you here. I wonder what records those are. Can't tell. Prince may consider this an office, but it's more of a shrine. User memorabilia lines the walls. By the window, Grish and Prince are speaking in hushed tones. You refused Grish's help. Yeah, it's like my favorite track in the whole game. Again, anyway. Grish sees you enter and frowns. He leans towards Prince, says a few more words, and then barges past you for the elevator. Be seeing you, program. Prince chuckles. I see you've been making friends. Very glad you could join us, Query. You come very highly recommended. Reputation is everything. Prince noted your answer. Program after my own heart. Welcome. Prince steps in front of his desk. He registers your confusion at the bright lights on its surface. A little showy, perhaps. I've been told it looks like a shrine, but much like the users, I enjoy a little theater. What happened here? That's a longer conversation, I fear. Prince smiles another smile. It is a smile it is a smile calculated in its charm, the kind of self-conscious allusion to kindness that you've only ever seen in those with assured authority. You wonder how Grish feels about such subterfuge. Tell me, Query, for whom do you fight? Fight for the users, I fight for the programs, I fight for myself. I am curious. Fight for myself. Prince smirks, far less charming than before. Your selfishness annoyed Prince. Oh no. Well, at least you're honest, I suppose. But be careful. A day may come when you will be measured against the ethics of those above us. Or below. Prince steps back to the window. Flynn built this world for us, Query. He built us an ark safe from Clue, from his intolerance of our kind. We must never forget what we owe, whose grace we rely upon. He saw the potential of the ISOs and our value. Your order was created with similar optimism, the disciples of Tron, independent seekers of truth in the face of tyranny. It's all very impressive, I'm sure. You too are part of Flynn's design. Do not forget it. He will return. We owe him everything. Prince noted your answer. We surely do, Program. We surely do. I fear that I am increasingly surrounded by a lack of faith. Prince glances at the elevator Grish left through. Grish saw many things in the Adjunct War. I think he carries more scars than the one we can see. It has dented his belief. He's not alone in that. Can't save everyone. No, we can't. But we can try. My interest in the users goes beyond blind faith. I imagine you've noticed my collection. Very impressive. Thank you. Does any piece in particular catch your eye? Those colorful boxes. Prince moves to the shelf, removing a box. This is a form of user entertainment. A video stored on an analog magnetic tape. They record fictional performances and share or sell them to each other. He smiles as he looks at the tape. VHS, baby. This was apparently one of Flynn's favorites. I've not watched it, but the user on the cover looks heroic enough. Can we watch one? Prince chuckles. A fellow student of user culture? I'm afraid events are conspiring to pull us away from such artistic appreciation. When this night is done, and if we remain in one another's good favors, perhaps I can introduce you to Popcorn. Prince places the box back on the shelf. Fascinating. Prince smiles. Indeed. Prince's face stiffens. For the first time, he lets the stress of recent events show on his face. He straightens up, locks eyes with you, or as the Thermians in Galaxy Quest would put it, the historical documents. Tonight, the unacceptable has occurred. Our repository has been broken into, and our work is in great danger. I am sure Grish told you about the explosion. Our vault. We have been attacked. I don't know for sure who did this, but I have my suspicions. No, they didn't. Too bad. I need to know who's responsible and what they stole from us. Who had access? To the vault? Core. It may be my repository, but it's their vault. Is it their fault too? Okay, anyway. I don't even know what they were keeping in there. He looks down. I wish I had a better answer, but for now I am as in the dark as you. My building is host to a great many treasures, but presumably tonight someone stole our greatest jewel. Excuse me. Prince gestures broadly. The programs with the answers are throughout this tower. I'm hoping that an outsider like yourself may be able to find the truth of all this. I'd start with the crime scene itself, or the suspect we already caught. A visiting dignitary, another outsider, was present near the event. Grish's man secured the situation immediately. Yeah, exactly. Keep an eye on Grish. His sort can be quick to judge. He would seem to have formed a bad impression of you, and that could be a complication for your investigation. You know, it's funny, what could be just, like, totally meta is if the video in question is actually a cover of Tron. That would be so, like, not, you know, but... Anyway. A look crosses Prince's face, something approaching sympathy. We've created temporary accommodations in the library. Give my apologies to Ada when you see her. Not exactly her role to play jailer. I'll interrogate the prisoner. No need to tell me, program. The DOT are independent of my authority. I hope that you also remember your oath of non-interference. Come back here when you have anything to tell me, or any questions I can answer. Prince's smile broadens. Ah, okay. You impressed Prince. So even though I said I fight for myself, like, if I say the right things after that, I can still impress him, or, you know, or whatever. It's been good to talk to you, Query. I will make it known to my staff that you are to be supported in your investigation. I believe you can do good work here. This is my repository. I will do everything I can to help you. Come to me if you need anything. You leave the office. For the users. User! Rensler's famous first words. Now I'm gonna try to do things that Grish would not like. be angry about. But I think because I refused his help from the get-go, he's still gonna be mad. The library is vast, undulating. Distant platforms hang from the walls. The air is wet, the cold white glow of the space dreamlike. But it is the trees that make the grandest impression, tall and old and impossibly complex. They curl and swirl and the energy falls before you. You've never seen anything like them before, not at this scale. Your thoughts are interrupted. Beautiful, are they not? A program stands next to you, glowing white like the room around her. You enjoy my garden? I don't understand. This is a library? Hey! Hey! This is library! The smallest, most respectful of smirks. You're first, perhaps? She kneels down, checking the leaves of a tiny plant at her feet. She turns each over in her fingertips, inspecting them in turn. Content, she stands up, smiling again. I am Ada. Welcome to my garden. It's beautiful. A different smile, something approaching pride. You have the sense she'd never admit as much, though. Thank you, Query. This is the greatest library on the grid. It is the centerpiece of the repository, the very purpose of its existence. Wait, I haven't introduced myself yet. I guess Prince must have told everybody what my name was already. It is the greatest library on the grid. It is the centerpiece of the repository, the very purpose of its existence. Before you lies the grand total of knowledge from nearly 2,000 cycles of our society. From the founders to this moment, all of it, pristine. Pristine. Ada walks over. Walks over to a tree, grand and towering. She reaches out a hand, brushes a leaf, letting its energy fizzle at her touch. A crackle of utter sonic complexity. That's a great phrase. A crackle of utter sonic complexity. You've seen trees before, I imagine? Of course. Do you know what they are? What is a tree? I don't know, I'm not a botanist. I always assumed they occurred naturally, an outcome of the grid. The description is accurate, but fails to capture their full function. Trees are data, records of our history, not individuals, but an entire society. They are our memory, at a cultural level. I understand you work with identity disks as part of your investigations. Has the similarity between these forms and that of the data you see in your travels never struck you as interesting? She pulls her hand away from the leaf. Your order of the DOT, you do not interfere. You seek truth, but seek to have no impact in the worlds you investigate. The echoes of your kind in my garden are quieter than most. You believe her. It is as intended. I have questions. I'm sure you do. Ask them. Take your time, and then I have someone to introduce you to. At multiple points in your investigation, you'll have the opportunity to dig deeper, blah, 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 blah. If trees occur naturally, why have a garden? She nods, respecting the question. It is one she has been asked before. The data of trees in the wild is rich. They capture all around them. But the noise is also chaotic, unguided, ruckus even. In my library, I can cultivate the data, refine it, prune it. I can find the truth and preserve it for future generations. Sounds like an enormous task. On the surface, that does sound like, you know, like it could be just, you know, you're like effectively like, you know, just omitting stuff or just taking things out of context. But there is I would say there is a good way of practicing that. It's just, you know, touchy business. Ada exhales, almost a chuckle. It is, but I have time and relatively few interruptions. Until tonight, I am grateful to do what I love. You believe her. I know my role. I was expecting shelves, books. A laugh. As with Princess shelves of user entertainments, I don't blame you. So much of our world is contextualized via the users and their arcane and oblique practices. I have been speaking to my guests at length on the topic. It is an irony that they have to cut down their trees and transform them into books. Our method is lossless. How do you find anything? In the same way you found the repository. The same way you know your way around Core City. I know my library. I know the knots and branches of my trees. Oh, this is what I picked last time. I do like prunes, though. Anyway. Don't feign too much ignorance, though. Your work with identity disks betrays more understanding of data than the average program. You nod. As with many things, the library has no value without the one who can use it. Any memory loss? She looks confused. There seems to be some of it going around, maybe linked to the explosion. No, nothing. Maybe we were insulated from the bulk of it. The trees blocked the storm. Not all of them survived, though. Some of my saplings, the recent and obscure, seem to have been shattered by the force of the explosion. I may be able to rebuild, replant, but I am sure we have lost a great deal. You don't have backups? Brother, this is the backup. Anyway, she shakes her head. That would be illegal. Core demand that all curated data remain here, in the library, accessible to them when desired. To take anything out of the building would be a crime. So, this place is Nintendo. No. Okay. A pause. I am sorry for my outburst. It is a blessing you are here tonight. Flynn be thanked. Oh, there was an outburst earlier? Let's move on. As you wish. The librarian motions towards the center of the library. A platform juts out into the humid air. Please follow me to the observation deck. As you walk, she explains. Under normal circumstances, this is a place of tranquility. The observation deck provides a place to meditate, to consider the knowledge collected here. Action without action. Ah, a student of Flynn. Some truths transcend the speaker. Indeed, you're in the right place. You continue walking. A bright energy field surrounds the end of the platform. It notes your reaction. A safety measure. Under normal circumstances, it would be unfortunate to fall from the perch. Without a secure location, an intact one at least, Grish asks that we make use of it as a temporary prison. You are now close enough to see that the energy field has an occupant, an exceptionally tall figure sitting cross-legged in its center. Yeah, this is the first instance, I think, where there are pink lights on a program. I will leave you alone with him. I encourage you to be respectful. This is, after all, an ambassador, a guest in my garden. The man in the energy field looks up as you approach. Sad eyes peer out from a strangely pale face, faceted and lit by two bright eyes. It is a timeless face, and one you instinctively know has seen a great deal. Greetings, program. Greetings. I should introduce myself. I am Sierra, ambassador for the Automata. Yes, something I know. Something in the trailers for Catalyst, or whatever, or pictures and stuff, or screenshots. I noticed the Automata are making a comeback as well, so that's interesting. I am pleased to make your acquaintance. I am Query of the DOT. I've been asked to investigate events tonight. I've been told that you are a criminal, but I will form my own opinion. You have my word. You nod, respectfully. Sierra smiles. You find yourself fascinated by the structure and patterning of his face, the way it contorts in a flawed attempt to mimic a very user expression. You try not to stare. He notices. Am I your first automata, Query? Yes, I'm sorry for staring. He looks at you quizzically. It can be strange to be exposed to the new. The automata have kept to ourselves for some time. It's reasonable that the rest of society would be surprised by our appearance. In truth, I am proud of the difference. We choose not to look like the users of myth, but walk our own path. You look userish? That is intentional. I am an ambassador. I approach other programs on their own ground, and therefore must do what I can to make them comfortable. Regrettably, that comes at the cost of my expression of my kind's true programmatic beauty. I guess it would make more sense to have, like, programs that, like, don't believe in the users. Just because, like, I mean, even in the first Tron, there were some who were doubtful of them, but a lot of it, at least from the administration, it wasn't out of genuine, like a genuine just lack of faith, but it was more just like defiance. But this, on the other hand, this is a sanctuary, like it's a backup grid. It's not meant to be a self-sustaining one, or whatever the proper term is. His smile broadens. Let's get to the matter at hand. My crimes? You strike a conciliatory pose. You refuse Grish's help. It's just you and me, Sierra. I didn't care for Grish's methods either. Sierra nods. A silence hangs in the air for a moment. I think you know more than you've told anyone. A whip crack of energy passes through the light of Sierra's face. I know a great deal more than anyone here could understand, but on this specific issue, on this little crime you're investigating, I am ignorant. I'm almost as ignorant as that brute Grish. I like the name Grish. It really, it sounds harsh but it's like a mix of the words grit and harsh. It's a good, I think it embodies his character well. Sierra breaks eye contact, looks down. The prisoner stands slowly. He is a giant, almost twice your NAS. Что? Are you mean like a... Are you talking about like what a non-backup system would be called? He is a giant, almost twice your height. He looms over you. There is great strength and but also a gentleness to his posture, his movements. You charmed Sierra. Oh, I still did? I'm not your enemy, Query, and I don't believe you are mine either. I will happily answer your questions if you return to me. I will help in every way I can, but I fear I am as ignorant as anybody else here. Yeah, sorry, pal. But I'm not letting you out. Because I'm kind of trying to, like, do all the decisions that Grish would want, except the first one. As opposed to the NES. He points to the door you came from. Keep Grish and Prince away from me. They have made up their minds, and I have no interest in discussing matters with them further. Sierra turns his back to you. Your conversation over for the time being. It may be time to revisit the scene of the crime, the vault. Time to visit the old quantum program. A memory of great energy hangs in the air. The vault, what's left of it at least, is incredible. Hot red light permeates every corner, highlighting the blue cracks and damage of the explosion. The heat of that light is matched only by the cold of the wind blowing through from outside. In the place of the vault interior is the gaping wound of the blast. So, yeah, this is an example of how, like, they're using a comma. Like, grammatically speaking, like, this is not essay worthy. Like, in the place of the vault interior, comma, is the gaping wound of the blast. It's like, no. But if the intent is just merely to pause and it's like, in the place of the vault interior is the gaping wound of the blast. I don't know. Even so, that the light of the city outside is weightless. Slumped in the corner, you see the only other program present, a guard. An exhausted face looks up and back at you. Their clothes are more ornate than Grish's. This isn't one of his guards. A Corps honor guard, maybe. What happened? A good question. The guard looks tired, weakened. Likely they took some damage in the explosion. Whatever they were guarding is gone. Grish must have left them here to recover. Best to approach this carefully. Hey, what's your name? It's only now that you realize, looking at the guard, how young they are. Their hair and uniform are pretty messed up, but this guard isn't more than a kid. This does make me wonder which characters are going to make a comeback in Catalyst, as well as, like, just thinking, like, okay, like which ending to this game is canonical, like, as far as Catalyst is concerned, or does it really matter? A kid left to guard something worth destroying this vault over. You're confused? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Am I in trouble? Not at all. Oh. Good. This is going nowhere fast. The guard needs help. Likely this close to the blast, their entire memory is locked out. You kneel down in front of them. Gesture towards the identity disc on their back. I'm Query, a DOT. If you'll let me, I can skim your disc, help you put something of the details together, maybe start to figure out what happened here. Okay. They understand. You reach over, take their disc, time to make more connections. Skip. You replace the disc on the guard's back. Cass. My name is Cass. Cass began to trust you. It's a start. You smile and help Cass to their feet. What do you remember? They squint, considering. Not much. I remember the explosion, energy and light all around me for a microcycle. And then... you. You look out the gaping void of the vault and the city lights beyond. Do you remember anything else? Anything at all? Cass steps over to look out over the city with you. Like what? Your superiors within core? I don't remember the details. Blurry figures, maybe? People meeting with me before I came here. I'm trying to be helpful, I swear. It all just keeps slipping through my fingers. The explosion fried their memories. You'll need to come back. Work through this with them. Your only witness barely remembers anything beyond their name. Do you have any questions for me? 1. What's DOT? You chuckle. You chuckle. You've never been asked that before. Saying DOT tends to make programs less talkative, if anything. Have you heard of Tron? The program who fought for the users? Cass seemed confused by their own question. Huh. A story I remember being told a long time ago. You smile. That's like the one thing he remembers. Yes, well, my order bases itself on his example, without the allegiance part. We believe in finding the truth, without fighting for any one side. Truth should exist outside of that. Although I have lost sight of that in my past, at least that's what I was taught. Cass nods solemnly. You walk back towards the door. Cass calls from behind you. You're leaving me alone in here? Oh yeah, 'cause Grish isn't here this time. You turn back to them. Rest. We'll work this out. Cass nods and sits back down on the corner. You've never seen a Korg honor guard before. You always imagined they'd be taller. General Grievous, you're shorter than I expected. Time to move on. It's time to hear Prince's views on all of this. Yes. The office is still as grand and impressive as it was last you were here. Prince stands at the window. Grish has returned in your absence, standing next to his master. As you approach, Grish turns to sneer. Prince chuckles and shakes his head. Welcome back, program. It's good to be back. I nod. I fear things have continued to slide in your absence. I feel myself increasingly forgetful. Some kind of lasting symptom of the explosion, you think? That seems to be the case. I've heard. I find it profoundly unsettling to be myself, but also to have parts missing. I am a program that prides myself on my memory, my user given. Your selfishness annoyed Prince. I forgot myself for a moment. You don't believe in users, only your own selfish whims, correct? Prince looks out the window. Tonight I'm jealous of the programs out there, who continue their ebb and flow untouched by what has happened here. How many programs function entirely in the dark? How many remain ignorant? So peaceful. They're likely happier. Very possibly. That is my hope, that the work we do here is protective, that it allows them the space to live without worry. Ignorance is bliss, as they say. Comforting. It comforts me, yes. Prince wobbles slightly, imperceptibly. Grish notices. Are you all right, Administrator? He straightens. Of course, I'm just a little off balance from tonight's events. I find it hard to focus in on the detective's points and questions. I've forgotten so much from earlier. You can help, program? I can. Then do it, please. Help me put things back together a little. Prince takes the disc from his back, hands it to Grish, who hands it to you. And skip. You hand the disc back to Grish, who replaces it on Prince's back. Prince stretches, rolling his neck, and smiles to himself. Ah, that's better. He turns to face you. So, what is your conclusion in this case? I'm tempted to actually make a card game based on the defragging. Just given they're called cards and like their suits and such, you know. I don't trust Sierra, the ambassador. No, I feel much the same. Heresy is one thing, but the rage with which it is expressed, there's a danger behind that program's eyes. Grish nods. Do you have any evidence? Ada could be more helpful with that. I'll send word. She is a program fixated on the careful cultivation of information. Makes sense she'd be careful with you. Grish snorts. Prince smirks. And I am thirsty. Time is short, and it is important your work here is swift. I am, of course, comfortable to answer any questions you may have of me, or Grish here. Perhaps you resume your investigation. Ask as many as you like. How will Sierra's fellow programs react to his imprisonment? Prince laughs. Not well, I imagine. As you no doubt gathered from your conversation with him, his kind, the automata, stand directly opposed to the sanctity of our civilization. They blaspheme and they mock, and they bring nothing to back up their outlandish claims. They refuse the existence of the users, but can provide no evidence of their absence. It is infuriating. Prince shrinks back a little from his tirade. Yeah, you know, as they say, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. More of his kind every day, making demands of the rest of us. I sincerely hope they are not foolish enough to start a fight over this. You are uncertain of its sincerity. How long before the explosion did Cass arrive with the item for storage? Barely enough time for us to register the arrival on our systems. Whoever did this, they knew ahead of time. They planned this. It's not good. Points to someone with information about our procedures. Oh, it's far worse than that. It implies the involvement of someone with information about the procedures of Core. Prince winces. Whoever did this knows more about the comings and goings of our vault than I do. Oh yeah, that reminds me. There was a program that helped Cass, that Cass mentions. I forgot his name, but I'm wondering if he'll make a comeback as well. Why hide away all this information? Did Ada not give you her usual speech about pruning and refining information? Prince smiles. We don't hide anything. We maintain society via careful control of data. It requires a delicate and respectful touch. There is information that can kill program. That doesn't sit well with you. No more questions. As you wish. Prince's head tilts slightly to the side, and he raises 2 fingers to his ear. An incoming message. Yes. Where? I see. He looks back to you, a determined flash to his eyes. It would appear we have an issue. Yes. Prince appears shaken. My exterior guard tells me a known criminal has just landed on the building. Her name is Proxy. Have you encountered her before? The name rings a bell. It should. I believe she is wanted for a number of crimes, some of the worst imaginable. Grish tenses. She's a thief, a pirate, no respect at all for the work done here. Prince goes to his shelves and begins to pack a few items into a small bag. This is no coincidence. She must surely be involved in the theft tonight. I am moving to a secure location. Grish, you're coming with me. As you wish. Query, for my security, I'm afraid I can't tell you where I'm going. I will still be in the repository, but I will be unavailable for now. He finishes filling the bag up and seals it. I know your order doesn't engage in ongoing events, that you are forbidden from interfering, but I need you to reconsider that oath in service of myself, our work, and core. I need you to go up there and meet this interloper. I need you to find out her involvement in the vault explosion and prevent her from doing any more damage. When the time is right, I will return. All right. Thank you. Prince chose to trust you. I trust you'll make the right decision, if one must be made. He picks up the bag and heads for the elevator. Grish follows behind, disc in hand. She's on the landing pad, Query. I suspect some of your answers are up there with her. Boy, I remember the first time I played this, and when I made the decision I did, I was like kind of shaking myself because I'm not typically used to RPGs. And it was such a moment of such gravitas, like either way. And I'm just like, oh boy, you know. The landing pad juts out of the side of the repository like a grid bug clinging unsteadily to a mountain. You're starting to relate to grid bugs. Ah, yes, grid bugs. And I mentioned this last playthrough, but like one of the things I did love about the DS version of Tron Evolution was that in the Outlands level, the main enemies that you fought were grid bugs. And that was something you only saw like one little shot of in the original Tron. Like, you know, we'll have to get past those grid bugs or whatever. And then that's it. You don't ever see them again. Like, never. But then in the DS version of Tron Evolution, you're actually fighting the grid bugs. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I know what these things are. I remember them. You know, whatever. You're no negotiator. You have never interacted with an active crime directly. The Disciples of Tron investigate. They do not instigate. A yell tears through the rain, breaks your process. I wonder if part of the conflict between Query and Exo is that Query may not see it as like something like they should be doing, like as far as like standing up against core or whatever, because of that whole like non-interference thing. But Exo is like, no, we got to, or something like that. But a yell tears through the rain, breaks your process. Greetings, program. There's a recognizer. She stands in the center of the platform. Behind her, a stolen recognizer takes off, soaring back into whichever corner of the city it's usually hidden. Yeah. She walks towards you. Her swagger implies casual charm, but you can sense a readiness to strike. Danger may not be present, but it is certainly pre-cached. I said greetings, program. A playful anger crosses her eyes. Do you have a name? I don't give my personal identifier to criminals on a case. Hey, you first. She laughs. Ah, is that the level of negotiation I can expect? How fantastic. Also, the music in this area is great, just with the conflict as well. It's so good. I'm Proxy. I'm sure you've already been told a great deal about me. Why don't you give me your side of it? I'm a scoundrel, a ne'er-do-well, a good-for-nothing. Well, nothing except liberating the property of bigger scoundrels.
What is your business in Port Royal, Mr. Smith? Yeah, and no lies. All right, I confess. I intend to commandeer one of these ships. Kill Blake. Right? What was I? I said no lies. Yeah, I think he's telling the truth.
She does a little sarcastic bow.
I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. I think we're going to be very good friends, detective.
She's toying with you, testing your boundaries.
Before you ask me your questions and we get to negotiating what happens next, I have one pressing question, if I may.
Go for it.
It's less of a question and less of a question than an observation.
Oh yeah, it was like last time I actually was really looking at her face and I was like, wait, is her left eye blind or something? Because like both she and Grish fought in the Adjunct War. And Grish has that big scar on his face, so like her having a blind eye would make sense, you know?
It's less of a question than an observation, really. It unsettles me. My question is, why is this landing pad not secured? No guards, nothing preventing my landing, unloading. My code whispers, trap to me. I should have been surrounded by 6 angry programs with discs in hand the moment I set foot on such sacred ground. The word sacred was stressed, ringed for every available drop of sarcasm. No offense, but you're not as scary as the welcome I anticipated.
Oh, I will be.
Something happen here? Are the usual programs occupied?
You know what happened.
I do, but you look so keen on explaining.
Silence.
She giggles to herself. An explosion tore apart your vault, and then someone like me sees what happened to a facility legendary for its security. I think to myself, maybe there's an opportunity there. And then, when I arrive and see that the guards have scattered everywhere, or elsewhere, I become certain that there's an opportunity.
She gestures at you.
You're all they had to send up to me, no doubt, tightening security around the zealot prince. How's Grish, by the way?
He doesn't seem very happy at my presence.
No, he's not the one to enjoy interference. We fought together in the war. I think we took wildly different lessons from our time together. The first sign of weakness, a little sadness, crosses her face. It's gone in an instant, partitioned away under layers of bravado. I'm here because I see an opportunity to take something of my own, while you're busy chasing around that other thief.
Why tell me?
Because it's fun to have an audience. She smiles, but knows that's not a good enough answer. You're DOT. You investigate. You don't prevent. I'll be long gone before your case officially opens against me. You'll never find me. She's working very hard to appear confident. It's almost working. Confident, but out of boasts. Me, ... Ask her questions, then. Tell me about the war. She looks down. Nothing to tell. A bad time. A time I'd rather forget.
I could help with that.
She recoils. Keep your hands away from my disk if you want to keep them, program.
Tell me what you're going to steal.
Data.
Picard isn't going to be happy.
There are great secrets being kept in this building. One in particular has infinite value. I need it.
She smiles, empowered even by the idea of it. What data?
Data our leaders tell us doesn't exist. When Flynn created this grid, he left behind code that would empower program in ways we cannot imagine, give them abilities beyond anything any program has ever possessed. You know, I wonder if wielding the power of the glitch is a reference to this. I will find that code tonight. It's here somewhere.
Where?
I don't know. I will.
Are you going to hurt programs tonight?
Only those I need to, those that get in my way.
Matter of fact, to the point, no bravado.
They'd be doing their jobs. We all have jobs. I'm occasionally forced to do mine.
The other one, it's like the resin is easy for you, and she just like motions like flicking of the wrist, and she's like, it's all in the wrists, which is a line that is said in both movies.
She holds her eyes.
No budge. Let's move on. Here it comes. Good. I think I'm done talking. Her tone has shifted. The bravado of earlier has slipped away. She's finished playing. I'm going to walk past you now. I'm going to walk past you and into the repository. Once there, I will do what I have to do to find what I came for. You need to get out of my way. She reaches to her back, draws her disc. It sparks and shivers with energy. You have no doubt she knows how to use it. I can't do that. Think about this query. Think about who you're defending.
That's whom you're defending, lady?
You do. She may be right. Prince and his staff have hardly demonstrated perfection so far. And then it happens. She moves fast, closing the gap between you and holding her disc to your neck. You feel the sizzle of it brush against you. You instinctively draw your own disc, just like you were taught. You hold it millimeters from her neck. A few particles of her hair turn to light and drift off the platform, sliced by your weapon. You're fast, program. She jumps back, adopting a throwing stance. You mirror her. You're not going in there. Then I suppose this conversation is over, query. She draws back her disc, curving her back and shoulder, begins to throw forward. This moment matters. A choice, either way. Throw your disc, or drop your disc. Throw your disc at proxy. You flick your wrist. The disc flies at proxy. It's not a strong throw, but it doesn't need to be. It's perfectly aimed. It hits her square. It hits her square in the chest, cutting through it instantly. She turns to light in front of you, then shatters, washed away by the wind and rain. No, not exactly, Santino. Nobody else needs to get hurt tonight. You de-res proxy. All that remains of proxy is her disc. You pick it up, making a mental note to pass it to Prince when you see him again. Your ethical standards prevent you skimming a program who can no longer consent. A pity. You imagine this disc would be fascinating. The rain continues to smash the landing pad. You stand alone. You did that which no DOT must ever do. You made a decision. It's becoming a dangerous habit tonight. It's so cold out here. Ooh, such an awe-inspiring moment. You enter Prince's office. He and Grish are long gone. You look around. This is a good opportunity to explore Prince's collection of user artifacts. Look at the book. Tucked away on a shelf is a thick, heavy book. Its cover shows an abstract landscape, rendered in bright light and polygons. Not dissimilar to views you've seen at the outskirts of the grid. In white block capitals it says ARC X0711 beneath instruction manual. You flick through. This is a description of a machine, but specifically a machine for housing programs. You blink. This is a book about the machine in which the grid resides. Some kind of guide for users. This is profound. Learn more. You skim back through the book to the introduction and begin to read. Jump aboard the ARC X0711 and be swept away to a future like none you can imagine. Congratulations on your new purchase. With the unique technology at the heart of Encom computers, you can feel confident that no matter what the task, your hardware will be up to the challenge. So sit back, relax, and float above the flood of lesser hardware with the powerhouse you can take with you. Trademark. Love the Noah's Ark metaphors. Keep reading. You keep flicking through sections on specific software, spreadsheets, word processing games, or word processing games. You remember hearing wise programs speak of other computers, the mini-grid theory. This book seems to back that up. It implies that many users have their own computers. The concept is terrifying. Too deep now. Continue reading. You find a section with strange words and symbols. They call it code, instructions, ancient runes with which one can actually build programs. This is Flynn's method. This is how he created this place. How he created us. No, it is said that we manifested later. But Flynn seeded the world with this code. Yep. Wrote the old Minecraft code so that, and put in a bunch of villagers and got enough so that iron golems and cats started spawning. Lol. This is the recipe for life itself. Put it back. You replace the book on the shelf, a little shaken by how close you just were to truths you cannot fathom. A shiver, and then your focus returns. Look at paper clipping. Now this is what I'm hoping they really explore in Catalyst. A slightly crumpled piece of paper is tucked between two other boxes. You pull it out. It's an article of some kind. You read it. Renaissance Man by Ethan Romero. The first thing I learned about Edward Dillinger was his taste in helicopters. As I sat waiting for him at the rooftop bar of 1 Moss Street, I was startled to see a jet-black helicopter fly past the window, illuminated decadently with red strip lighting. My subject would later explain to me that he found the red glow soothing after a long day staring at computer screens, but to me it was pure showmanship. This doesn't make a lot of sense. Keep reading. Yeah, I guess so. You skip forward a few paragraphs. Dillinger laughs, his English lilt giving an impression of a man out of time, a man from a more sophisticated past, perhaps. Of course, this is an illusion. My subject is a man of the future, a great inventor, famous for his pioneering work in artificial intelligence. And also for being a total thief. He waves any celebration away, of course. For him, his proudest work is in the field of arcade video games. He aspires to be an artist in the field and envisions a day where these electronic fancies are as celebrated as poetry, music, and film. I wonder what happened to Incom exactly for them to remember Edward Dillinger as being such a pioneer of the company, and like not really view him more as the fraud he was. Which, yes, he did take part in the creation of Incom, sure, but also kind of cheated his way to the top, right? But hey, a lot of cults these days, always respect their founders, right? But then you look at their founders and you're like, these people are horrible and stuff. But anyway, he aspires to be an artist in the field and envisions a day where these electronic fancies are as celebrated as poetry, music, and film. I chuckle at this, but he seems ardent. That is true. He did write the MCP. So that part is true. You've never heard of this man. And that's interesting, isn't it? Like, Dillinger just fades away into obscurity. Kind of reminds me of the movie Amadeus, where Salieri's whole mission is to take all of Mozart's work and as credit to himself, but then he ends up killing Mozart effectively. But then the end result, Mozart has the last laugh, quite literally too, even. But Mozart is remembered, and and Salieri is forgotten. It's kind of what. Yeah, good point. You've never heard of this man. Read a little more. You skip a few more paragraphs ahead. Dillinger has recently crafted his most important invention of all, a son. I ask him if Eddie Jr. shares his inventive streak. He assures me that Eddie is already showing an aptitude for mathematics and computing. And this is Cillian Murphy's character in Tron Legacy, which Cillian Murphy unfortunately isn't coming back for Tron Ares, but they're following it up with his character's brother, Julian Dillinger, which, again, I mentioned before, the actor they picked for Julian Dillinger does actually look like he could be related to David Warner, so I thought that was good. But that doesn't mean that they're not going to follow up with Dillinger Jr.'s storyline in Catalyst, which is what I'm interested in. He's a born leader, too, with a ruthless command of the sandbox. He's running rings around his kindergarten teachers. Somebody tell this man how the birds and the bees actually works. No, Dillinger tells me the boy doesn't suffer fools gladly. Like father, like son. There's only so much psychophancy you can stomach at a time, especially for a user you've never heard of. Tuck it back away. You return the clipping to its nook on the shelf. Look at blinking device. The device blinks with red light in the corner. You pick it up. Small buttons cover its surface. The blinking light radiates from a tiny screen. You carefully press one, and a simple image on the screen blinks to the right. Now, this is an old school video game that I haven't played. I do want to see if I can find it and just play it. Another button, and the image blinks left. Curious. Keep playing. You press another button, and the image blinks up the screen. You realize these buttons indicate movement. If these are actual sounds from the game, then that's awesome. You realize these buttons indicate movement. You press another button to the right, and a smaller image blinks out of the first. This is some kind of representation, a simulation. Is the first image a program, and the other a disc being thrown? It's interesting how disc is always capitalized. I don't think I noticed that until this playthrough. Why would Prince have such a thing? Why would anyone bother to make it? Put it back. You return to the device to its corner, utterly confused. A game within a game. Look at jacket. You walk over to the shelves on the left. You reach for a jacket hanging in the corner. Looks familiar, eh? An odd garment, gray chest and cuffs with red sleeves. The collar looks vaguely military, and two large pockets flank the chest. A practical item. You've never seen anything like it. No light, and the material feels alien, otherworldly. Did this belong to a user? Someone important enough for Prince to have it in his collection? Not just any user, my friend. Investigate further. You poke the strange clasps, presumably designed to hold it together. Ever the defective? Ever the detective? You. That was a funny dyslexic moment. You reach carefully into a pocket. Your hand brushes over some small cards. You pull them out. Duplicates. Each one printed in bright red. Flynn's Arcade. Put it back. It's Flynn's jacket. You replace the jacket carefully. You'd rather nothing was out of place for Prince's return. Look at small statue. A small statue sits up on the shelf. It is simple, white plastic with printed blue highlights, but you recognize it instantly as Tron himself, and take it from the shelf. You've never seen a statue like this before. Intricate hinges attach his limbs. You can fold and move them in a simulation of movement. Is this a user toy? If so, did the users know the story of Tron too? Consider the object. You were raised with the stories of Tron, his fight for the users, his eventual disappearance. The disciples of Tron model themselves on his example, seeking truth and justice, standing up to power, new or old. Tron was programmed to fight for the users, but DOT fight only for the truth. You'd like to meet him one day, if he still functions. Wouldn't that be something? Like, if Tron, like, having come back from and shedding his Rensler persona, if he does actually make an appearance somehow in Catalyst, that'd be cool. I mean, is he even gonna be in Ares? I'd honestly be surprised, which is sad to say, but you place the statue delicately back where you found it. Leave. You take one last look at the place. Next time you're here, you'll see Prince back at that window. Last time I was playing, that wasn't true at all. He probably won't let you look at his toys again. Leave. Okay. 4 before I continue, me am need to relieveth mine lower organs, so BRB. Really? What's your silly idea? I was thinking, what if we did a little, we just voiced all of these characters. I did watch a video on it, and apparently there was like a thing where it will always eventually hit, like, depending on how it works, either the top corners or the bottom corners, but it will never hit both or something. Like, it will only do the bottom or the top ones. And the way mine works, yeah, eventually, if I'm gone long enough, it will hit the corners. I don't remember how long it does have to be. The library feels like a mirage. Given everything else going on in the rest of the building, it is peaceful, calm. The trees shielded those here from the merry bug. It seems to also shield them from the petty concerns of Proxy and the others. As you enter, Ada ushers you over. She seems less comfortable than before. Greetings again, program. She looks around, checking there's nobody with you. Definitely uncomfortable. What's wrong? Ada gestures to the door you entered through. She's coming here, isn't she? The thief. You weigh up whether you should tell the librarian what happened on the landing pad. Did she say what she was looking for? It doesn't matter anymore. She's gone. Ah. Ada understands the implications. She has seen all of this world's history. She knows how many choices have been made. How many choices have been made with a disc to a program's throat. Ada seems reassured. I hope I did not give you the impression earlier that I am naive. I have my dealings with the outside world. I understand the nuance of my code's work. Its ethical complexity. I have nothing but respect for you. Excuse me. Ada smiles, genuine, intimate. Thank you. I need to confess something to you. Okay. I worry that I may have played a role in the theft, and now in Proxy's attempt. You stole something? In a manner of speaking. She breathes deeply, centering herself. Eyes still closed, she continues. While I believe that information must be controlled and structured, I think that it must then be spread. Our administrator, Prince, has been more cautious with this than I'd like. Take Sierra over there. The automata had to send him here to bargain for access to our records. Why could we not simply share? Data pruning is important. Public access must be shaped and refined. But if the public never has access, then what purpose does that serve beyond a pretty garden inside a box? Another deep breath. A little shudder in this one. I've been releasing small packets of data. Highly curated, of course, but I've been releasing them. It was intended to inspire, but I worry it was too successful. Rumors of secrets still hidden here have been circulating, building interest. You think that's what brought Proxy here? In part. I think the data I shared probably put us on her map. There is nothing more precious, more important than the data we possess. The information in this room, in the repository as a whole, is all we need to guide our culture. I made our work here prominent in a way it had not been before. I opened the door. You let that hang in the air for a minute. You're not responsible for the explosion. A smile. Not directly, no. I should have seen it as a likely outcome, though. A gift for prediction. It's a perk of my work. She steps out of your way. You should talk to Sierra. He spoke highly of you after your first meeting. Oh, but he won't for long. Good. That would make this next interrogation easier. You walk out onto the viewing platform. Sierra stands enormous, watching you approach. Query. How have you been? I've not been very busy, if I'm honest. You charm Sierra. Sierra smiles, warmly. I found our last conversation engaging, refreshing to experience a little respect. He leans forward. How can I help you with your investigation? I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. You stand in front of Sierra. He sits. I am grateful that you came alone. Tell me about Ada. He looks over at her, back to her pruning. She has been kind to me. Well, as kind as the situation allows. We have had a number of conversations about this library. Do you have trees like this in the sprawl? We have trees, but not like this.
For us, data grows wild and beautiful. We would never corrupt it through editing or controlling it in the way done here. I have no complaints about my treatment by Ada. What's your opinion of Grish? I don't want to talk about that program. Where were you at the time of the explosion? I was in here, with Ada. That's why my memory was unaffected. I was on a tour. You wonder why this alibi is only coming up now. Why nobody asked. You suspect you know why. You could still have triggered it remotely. Yes, I did. How brilliantly dastardly of me. Sarcasm. Did the automata want anything in particular from Core? To be left alone, mostly. Access to this data would be a beautiful addition, though. This data belongs to all programs, not a select few. A sincere answer. No more questions. Good. A thought occurs to you. Why didn't Data already tell me that you had an alibi? Excuse me. Sierra laughs. After all you've seen, all you've investigated, you still presume that a puppet of Core's would actually go out of their way to be helpful. He laughs again. It doesn't feel good. Maybe I did it remotely. Maybe I'm pulling the strings. Maybe I masterminded that thief's appearance, too. He stands up. The laughter stops. I think I'm done with this now program. Ada runs up, hearing Sierra's bellowing laugh at the other end of the library. Is everything all right? Sierra's just laughing at me. She smiles. He is a wise program. I have enjoyed our conversations. Sierra staring sternly at you. I am done. Meaning? He steps forward, brushes a hand against the force field, making it sizzle. You could just... If he knows how to do a front flip or something, then he probably could just escape, right? I am innocent. Allow me to leave. Ada looks confused. But Grish commanded I... Sierra points at you. He is the assigned DOT to my case. If he chooses to, he can end my questioning at any time. And if there are no more questions, then I will leave. You consider his request. I will have more questions. You're staying, Sierra. You refuse to help Sierra. He punches the field with a fist. An explosion of light and energy. Now! I'm sorry, Sierra. Ada looks off. Is that guilt? You are my enemy, Query. You will pay for what you have done to me. His light flares with a rage he had contained until now. Disturbing. You turn and walk away, past the trees and the waterfalls. Sierra continues to roar behind you. Another decision. Technically, it's, is it really my place? The vault is much as you left it. Outside, the falling debris of the explosion has stopped, and the room has begun to cool from the rain and wind outside. Cass stands by the hole in the vault wall. They look more confident than you remember, more ready. Hello, Query.
How's the view?
They consider the question. It's the best view I can remember.
Was that a joke? They're warming to you. They reach out into the void.
The rain feels peculiar to me. It shouldn't. It's rain, most common thing on the grid, right?
It comes and goes.
So why is it so strange?
They withdraw their arm, wipe it dry on their robes.
It's cold out there.
I don't mind it much.
That's strange to me too. The sensation.
They walk over to you.
I apologize. Ignore me. Everything feels strange right now.
They are clearly still suffering from the damage they took in the explosion.
How goes the investigation?
I don't know who I can trust.
Neither do I yet. I hope you can help me with that.
A small smile, which swiftly drops from their face.
And now, new programs are joining us, new faces for me to try and remember.
You heard about Proxy?
I did, from Prince. He made Grish bring him here to meet me. Apparently he had to see me for himself. He seemed scared. Prince, I mean. Grish seemed to be quite excited by the idea of a fight. It's endlessly fascinating to you how fast information travels in confined spaces. Ironic to see the same in a place so defined by secrecy.
You de-res Proxy. She poses no risk to you. I dealt with the issue.
Dealt?
You say nothing.
Cass seems frustrated. Whatever I was guarding, it's safe to assume I failed in my task. I can't let that happen again.
We don't know anything yet.
I know I failed.
This is not uncommon among victims of crime.
The need to contextualize themselves as active participants by assigning themselves blame. Claw back some autonomy.
Victims are usually blameless.
Sometimes, though.
We need to find out who did this.
Okay.
You nod. They remove their disc and hand it to you. Their hands are shaking. Are you scared?
Yes, a little. Of what we'll find out.
They smile bravely.
I want to know the truth of this just as much as you do. More possibly.
This disc holds an answer. And skip.
You hand the disc back, and Cass replaces it on their back. Their eyes flash as they sink. Silence.
So?
They look at you. No. They look uncomfortable, frustrated. I don't know what was stolen, or who stole it, or...
It's my fault, maybe.
It's not. You did your job. I just can't do mine. Tears swell in Cass's eyes. I want to be helpful, I really do. I want to be the one who cracks the case and finds out what happened here with you. I know there's something there, I'm missing it.
You know they want to help.
This is heartbreaking.
Cass falls to their knees, shaken.
You kneel down to join them. I don't remember anything or anyone. I was alone in the vault. An explosion. Oblivion.
Wait.
Did they?
You were in the vault?
Yes, of course. That's where he found me.
You were alone?
Realization dawns on Cass's face. I was alone.
New information. Cass was alone in the vault.
New information. Not much. Not much, but something to build on.
Explosion was triggered remotely? Cass considers. Maybe. It's possible. Or maybe from outside. It doesn't add up. Yet. You help Cass back to their feet. We're making progress. Or we are making progress. Slow, though. For now, they're right. But you have something to ask the others about now, at least. Do you have any suspects at all? I had one, but he has an alibi. No need to tell Cass about his question, or that you refused his request. Is Prince still in hiding? You nod. No need to share more for now. You think back to that empty office, the detritus of a program. You hope to see him there again. With Proxy derezzed, that seems a safe bet. Cass nods and looks back from the window. I think I'd like to be alone for a little while, if that's okay. I have to try and remember something more. Anything, really. You respect the request. You leave as the vault continues to cool. Now, how, my good man, are you going to react? Because I derez Proxy. And it's whether or not I do or not that, like, you know, it's one of those big catalyst moments, no pun intended. The lobby is as you left it. A lot has shifted since you were here before. You feel almost nostalgic. Across the room stands Grish. I've been looking for you. You found me. A grimace. You've missed it. I've taken a break from babysitting the administrator. I wanted to see if you'd made any progress. You refused Grish's help. I'm not expecting much, but I like to be surprised. But first, I need you to clean my disk again. Still dropping memories. Prince needs me at the top of my game, and I'm far from it. Of course, whatever helps. Good. That's okay, you weren't expecting a thank you. Grish removes his disc, rolls it around in his hands, tilting it to catch the reflection of the energy falls. I don't trust you, program. He stares you down. You're weak. You don't know your place. You've been a liability since you walked through that door over there. I'm taking a risk letting you work with this, but it's because of how important tonight is, both finding out what happened in the vault and keeping Prince safe. Don't mistake this for trust. You won't. He hands you the disc. Your hand hovers over the surface, ignites it. And skip. Ah, that clears some of the mist. Maybe if he just left this room. Okay. He smiles, briefly. You derez Proxy. It's quiet for now. No sign of Proxy. None of my men have spotted her, and no call-ins. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? I derezed her. Huh. Didn't know you had it in you. Prince will make himself known to you once I tell him about this. Keep an eye out. He'll likely want to thank you personally. I don't know what your game is, but I'm glad to have a quiet night. Grish still doesn't trust you. This doesn't change anything. Man, I'm trying to make you happy, but yeah. I'm glad to have it. Okay. Did she say anything to you about her plans? Wanted to say anything about take advantage of the chaos? It's working. Ask her questions. Make it quick. Where's Prince? Grish shakes his head no. I wouldn't tell you if you had a disc to my throat. He's safe, is all you need to know. There are parts of this place only I know about. Prince's office feels different without him. He smirks. It would, I imagine. Did you touch anything? No, nothing. Good. Those trinkets may seem trivial to your eye, but they're priceless. Most were owned by Flynn himself. If you go back, keep your hands to yourself. How are your men holding up? Good. They're securing floors throughout the building. I've told them to keep clear of your investigation. For now. My priority is securing the repository. If Proxy came, so will others. How are you doing? Exactly as well as I've been doing in your absence all night. I've been better. Cass was alone when the explosion happened. Yeah, it helps you. It helps keep you like, yeah, cognizant of, how you got to this point. Cass was alone when the explosion happened. You're sure? Someone could have been hot. They remember nobody in the room with them. Someone outside then? Remote control? Maybe. Sierra has an alibi. He scoffs. And what might that be? He was in the library with Ada. We'll see. When this is over, I'll ask him my own questions and consider his release. No more questions. You need to get back to Prince. I do. When I see you next, I want better answers to my questions. Hey man, I de-res Proxy. He gestures towards the elevator. You take the hint and leave. Hopefully he can keep his side of things together. Grish is literally Russell Crowe in the movie Unhinged. Just like me refusing to apologize, like, the lady refusing to apologize, and him just like, I don't think you really know what a bad day is, but you want to find out. Okay, to the landing pad we go. This is my first time seeing this scene, or doing this scene again since the very first time I played, I think. The rain is deafening now. Excuse me. Like the users themselves are mocking the hubris this place represents. The landing pad isn't as empty as when you saw it last. Through the rain, you see a silhouette. It is Prince, with Grish beside him. He yells above the noise and beckons you over. What is it with people in sci-fi stories not caring about umbrellas? Except for Jim. Jim in Tron Legacy did have an umbrella. You de-res Proxy. Yeah, because if you don't de-res Proxy, then you see Prince, like Proxy, like having custody of Prince. So is this where our interloper made her move? That's right. Right where you're standing. Prince looks around himself, a look of distaste on his face. A cold place to cease one's function. Krish laughs. She ended her process in the way she ran, small and pathetically outmatched. Well, thanks for the compliment. I liked her. You underestimate her. Indeed. Prince looks a little saddened.
It is disappointing to see the way in which the grid can shape programs, make us function suboptimally. Grish snorts. From where I'm standing, you acted to protect your investigation and the repository as a whole. I owe you a great debt. You hand Prince the disc you took from Proxy. From the moment you arrived, I knew you would do what had to be done. I am immensely pleased to be proven right. Grish nods. You did things the wrong way, but I can't argue with the outcome. You've kept my people safe. Prince reaches out a hand to shake yours. Are our operations synchronized? They are. Prince smiles. Good. That pleases me. You demonstrated loyalty to Prince. He shakes your hand. Grish watches, bemused. Where are we on the case, program? Cass was alone when the explosion happened. That only makes things more confusing. Prince laughs. You have a point there, but maybe it also gestures at some potential explanations. Some kind of remote trigger, maybe? You nod. Certainly possible. Prince looks up at the storm clouds above. Tonight isn't getting any more hospitable. We should return back inside. Grish nods, and they make their way back towards the warmth of the repository. Prince turns as he approaches the entrance. One more thing, Query. I was just doing my job. Prince chuckles. No, I think by definition you were not doing your job. But it's not about that. Yeah, true. Yeah. Before we went to Grish's favorite little hidden space in the repository, I asked him to escort me to visit your witness, Cass. I know. Grish snorts. Prince looks a little unamused to be interrupted. We spoke a little. Pleasantries, really. I like to be welcoming to the Corps Honor Guard. I am, after all, their host. They were, of course, having the exact memory issues one would expect from someone as close as they were to the explosion, so it was a brief conversation. It was, however, enough time for me to make a little deduction of my own. Go on. I take it upon myself to meet every Corps officer who visits my facility. I know every face. I don't know Cass's face. Grish winces. I should have asked questions. Prince smirks. Don't beat yourself up, old boy. Your single-minded focus on your work is admirable. A few details are bound to be missed along the way. Oh yeah, I forgot about that line, and when I saw that the first time, I was like, wait, is Prince supposed to be having like a British accent this whole time? Don't beat yourself up, old boy. Your single-minded focus on your work is admirable. A few details are bound to be missed along the way. Now we must go back inside, before this rain gets any worse. They go back in, leaving you out on the landing pad. The scene of your own crime. You have a lead. That's something. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious, because Prince has neither been derezzed nor captured by Proxy, I'm still going to talk to him, right? And it's going to be, like, he's going to be, like, you know, giving the yay or nay of whether or not I take Cass, right? But then Grish will be making his own decision on the matter, too, right? Because, you know, I still got the notification, Grish still doesn't trust you. So, Grish is actually going to be going against Prince, I reckon. You return to the vault, a little shaken by recent events. It's as cold in here as the landing pad, but at least it's drier. Cass is waiting and walks up to you as you enter.
Are you okay, Query? Strange to be the one in need of comfort, but Cass has obviously noticed something in your demeanor. A lot's happening. I've heard programs whispering. I assume you'll tell me when you think you need to. I'm sure it'll be okay. You nod. I don't think you're who you say you are. Did I say who I was? I didn't mean to mislead you. I'm truly sorry if I have. I don't know who I am. I'm hoping we can find out together. Cass looks at you quizzically. There's something you're not saying. Do you know anything new? I'd like to hear it if you do. Cass has always been direct with you. You owe them the same. I heard you're a new face around here. They ponder it. I thought Prince seemed strange when meeting me. A stranger, I suppose. I don't have a frame of reference, but if you say so, I believe you. They glance down at their uniform, resplendent, then take their identity disc from their back. Want to help me get to the bottom of this? You hesitate. Are you lying to me, Cass? If I am lying to myself, too. Help me figure it out? Cass smiles sweetly and hands you the disc. When you take it, they put their hand on your shoulder. Thank you, friend. Maybe this will be the last time. We'll figure out that I'm a janitor and we can all go home. I love that line. Skip. Cass falls to the ground in front of you. Oh no. Oh no. You kneel down in front of them. You remember the crime? Yes, well, not the one you're investigating. Cass is confused, their eyes darting around. They stand back up, a little unsteady. Did you see? In the cloud, did you see what I saw? You saw something. It was hazy, uncertain, a silhouette. A friend? Not a friend, not to begin with. No, that figure was the guard assigned to my cell. A beat. You're confused. Cass was a prisoner. I was a prisoner, Query. Somewhere cold and dark, not this place, somewhere else. I was locked in a box. For as long as I've been alive, I've been locked in a box. So how did you get here? I was transported, dropped off. I've been a prisoner for so long, the guard in my memory, he gave me this uniform, took pity on me. He may have saved your life. They nod, yes. It is fascinating to me that out of all my memories, the key was a good program who did me a kindness. Well, one kindness among many cruelties. He kept me locked up, probably helped me with my transfer here. Why were you transferred? I think I'm on my way somewhere else. Cor was moving me because of what happened at the prison. A look of terrified realization crosses Cass's face. I'm the explosive. This was me. I was moved here on my way to a more secure location because it's happened before. I'm the danger. Why was Prince not informed? I think I might be a terrible secret. Cass is overwhelmed, scared. It's all flooding back. I need time to process it, but I'm not sure the crime you were brought here to investigate happened. I think I might be in a lot of trouble. They inhale slowly. If you have questions, I can answer them, but then I think I need some space for a couple of millicycles. I can't let anyone else get hurt tonight. You de-res proxy. For that question. I understand. A couple of the programs were talking. A pirate, right? You nod. I'm sure you had no choice. You don't need to correct them. How long were you locked up? I don't know. The memories overlap.
fuse. I don't know their order, their causality. I have no idea how long I was there before I was moved here.
What causes the explosion?
I don't know. I'm guessing it's involuntary. I have to believe I didn't do this on purpose.
They don't seem completely convinced of that, but this wouldn't be the first case you've seen where a program convinced themselves of their own innocence. A defense mechanism, maybe? Tell me about the guard who gave you these clothes.
He was called Hori, I think. Kinder than he needed to be.
Yeah, that's the program I'm wondering if we'll run into.
He smuggled me in a uniform, told me if I was old, told me it was old, nobody would miss it. It was so cold in that cell. Thank the users for his small kindness.
Indeed. No more questions. Rest.
Okay. Thank you, Query.
You let yourself out. As Cass looks across the city through the hole they made, that's not the only gap here. There are more threads that you know you'll need to pull on before the night is over. This doesn't add up. Yet. Go back to the admin office. Everything is where you left it. Prince stands at his desk, working on something with his back to you.
I'm a little busy, Query. Come back later?
What? Well, I would have thought that the library was not going to be of any use to me, because I imagine neither of the folks want to talk to me in here. But maybe that'll change. Maybe that's different. There's a coldness to the library as you approach. Sierra sits at its center, glaring at you as you enter. You refuse to help Sierra. Oh, this is different. I have nothing to say to you. Fair. Ada, interrupted from conversation with the prisoner, turns towards you. You've had quite the evening. Things do keep happening. This is different. Yeah, this is different. Interesting. That does appear to be a unifying law of the grid, doesn't it? You both smile. A little exhausted. It's been a long night. How are you?
I'm alright. I've been shielded from much of tonight's events. I don't agree with your decision to keep Sierra here, but at least I'm not alone.
Sierra groans.
Sierra did nothing wrong.
Thank you, Ada. You changed the subject. Cass is also a prisoner. You tell Ada everything you know.
Why would Cord do that? Maybe they're dangerous?
Well, the explosions.
Yes, of course. That might go some way to explaining it. But then, why keep them alive?
To keep Cass intact and imprisoned, there must be something else going on. Ada looks around the library.
Earlier, I described this place as a garden, a curated space for information, and to an extent that's true. Core allows me my garden because they know this data has value, more so if they keep it locked away. But that is their motivation, not mine.
This one's motivation is the exact suppression you stand against, Ada. Sierra stands. Now this is completely new. I've not seen this part. Sierra stands, places a hand on the force field. He winces at the sizzle. You are the tool of an oppression you cannot comprehend, program. He turns to Ada. May I have a private conversation with this collaborator? Ada nods and walks away to investigate her trees. I do not interfere.
Sierra laughs. Oh, I've heard stories of the night you're having. That's not true. You've been making decisions left, right, and center. That's true. Yeah, that's a fair point. He steps back from the force field. I have learned everything I need to know about you and your friends in charge tonight. I suppose the ambassadorship was a resounding success in that regard. Tell the automata to wait a few hundred more cycles. Oh, we shall wait, and we will remember. He turns his back to you. You exit the library, feeling the tension and frustration in the room. You did not impress Ada. You look to Ada to say something, but she is engrossed in her work, or trying very hard to appear so. Maybe I did see this part, actually. It's been a while. Another time. Excuse me. Yeah, that is kind of a... Wait, hang on. Oh, still doesn't want to talk to me, eh? Oh yeah, this is where I'm supposed to go to the vault again. I will say that that is kind of a not so great move on my part. It's like, well, I know that Cass is the explosive, and yet, you know, and I derez proxy. But I'm still keeping Sierra in there. The vault feels a little warmer. Cass stands by the vault, looking out over the city below as you approach. Hello. Really is beautiful up here. Cass smiles. You've gotten the Minecraft achievement. Great view from up here. Cass smiles. It's more beautiful down there. The grid. So many programs fulfilling their functions, creating lives for themselves, making connections. Cass points to the city below. I want so much to go down there. Be among the programs. Drink some energy. Ride a light cycle. Maybe take in the games. I don't think I've ever had that freedom. If I did, it was long ago. Before I got locked in a tower. Still no memory of why? Not at all. I'm eager for answers, though. I'll do whatever it takes. Do you think the memories of what caused the explosion, why it's happening, are still hidden on your disk? Cass takes a deep breath. Could be. For sure. But this seems like a risky stone to turn. It might not be safe. Yeah. Sure, we'll go with that. That's why I call Cass the quantum program, because he's a non-binary program. Might not be safe. Cass takes another deep breath. Do it, Query. Do it. You take the disc from Cass and begin. It's past time to uncover their final mystery. How about no? Then he wall away. Anyway, sorry. You both stagger a little what you just saw. Now, because this isn't the first time I've seen this, or I've played this, I'm not seeing like the little memories that pop up on the screen. Which is sad that it doesn't do that when you play it again, but oh well. You both stagger a little at what you just saw, which, hang on. Codex. Memory, end of line. This is the one. Flashes, flickers of potential futures, a program fighting thousands of enemies, getting hurt, a cycle chased by hundreds, glitches, errors, shifting realities, repeated realities, the city falling apart, torn apart, great wars between programs, resets and errors, battles and defragmentation in the streets, and then nothing. Memory, end of line. You both stagger a little what you just saw. Oh no. You give the disc back to Cass. Feel the tension flow through you. I saw it. I always see it. Oh, users. You know what you both saw. Everything falling apart, the grid itself disintegrating, de-resin into a million fractured pieces, a terrible future. I wonder if at least part of that is like, basically stuff that'll happen in Catalyst, but what was that? Cat stumbles back from you. They are holding their head in their hands, tears in their eyes, their voice quivering. The end of everything. Collapse. Was this a different grid? This one. Explosion, a reaction, a realization. The grid is ending. It can't be stopped. Each time I realize that How do you know this is real? I know. They locked me up because I'm the only one who sees it. I see the end of things in the data. Complex cause and effect. Every raindrop, every blinking light of the city. Truth encoded. The grid is ending. Yes. Cass begins to shake, continuing to hold their head in their hands. The realization is tearing them apart. No time. Ask me your questions. Last chance. How long do we have? I don't know. Maybe 300 cycles? Not enough time to fix it. Cass looks defeated. So basically, if you let Sierra go, Ada, you doom, you sign Ada's death warrant, basically, because no matter what, she will be inspired to help, and then she will come up here. Cass looks defeated. Why would the grid have a limited duration? Temporary home, Flynn's backup. We were never meant to be here this long. He never came back. Now I know. How am I not exploding? Cass laughs. You didn't see for yourself, secondhand. You trust, but you can't see. You think you can save us. Your hope blocks your destruction. We have to tell everyone. Cass smiles through the pain. I'm telling you. Everyone has a right to know. I can wipe your memory if you want. A small smile. That's okay. Explosion will do that anyway. How long did it happen so fast? Or how did it happen so fast this time? More input. You. The city. So much data. Faster realization. I have nothing more to ask. Cass takes a deep breath. There's a flutter to their light. They're destabilizing. They walk out to the edge of the vault. Reset coming. Help me figure this out after. Stay back! The blast rings through the vault. Hot light knocks you from your feet. Time itself seems to stop for a moment. You taste iron and electricity as your face smashes into the hard floor of the vault. And then, silence. You stand up, dust yourself off. The sizzle of broken light echoes through the cavernous vault. Yeah, so like I said, if you let Sierra go, then you inspire Ada to help, and then no matter what, she will be here in this moment when that happens, and she'll basically, out of desperation, being like, you have to let me help you. I can, she does what she does best. It's like, I can cultivate the data, or, prune it, or whatever. It's like something like that. And she gets,
derezzed.
A sizzle of broken light echoes through the cavernous vault. And there, on the edge of the blasted vault hole, lies the fragile figure of Cass. Cass survived. You place a finger on their neck, feel the reassuring pulse of energy flow. They're unconscious, but they function. You are consumed by a need to tell someone what happened, to make it real, to communicate. Prince needs to hear about this. Oh, Princey boy. Prince's trinkets have lost some of their luster to you. Same goes for the program himself. Cor kept that kid locked up for a long time, huh? Prince cocks his head. I'm not sure what you mean. He looks baffled. You tell him about Cass's true identity, how they've been shepherded around. You tell him about their prophecy, the end of the line. Blasphemy! Flynn doesn't care about you. How is that blasphemy? He will return to us. He made this world for us, and he will return. Prince closes the gap between you quickly. You're selfish, annoyed, Prince. I'm surprised you show credence to anyone beyond yourself. We cannot let doubt in. We cannot break from his patterns. He will return, and he will help us to bring about a new age. He's moving on. No! We are his children. He made us in his own image. He saved us from his own image. We are his chosen. He slams a fist into his altar. Prince is shaking. Anger at you, or maybe even at Flynn himself. He will come back to us. Maybe the end is part of Flynn's design too. Perhaps. His body relaxes a little. The outburst seems to have relieved some tension for him. I'm sorry, Query. It is hard to hear some of what you say. Terrifying. There has to be a solution. Prince frowns. Does there? I admire your instinct to play savior. I really do. You refuse to help Sierra. At least you take each case on its own merits. You were wise to leave the automata spy in our custody. That case isn't closed. No, I suppose not. Things could have gone very differently tonight, Query. I am grateful to you for most of your decisions. I know your vows. I know it can't have been easy for you to intervene. I must live with it. I hope your superiors see matters the same way. I fear we are rapidly approaching a goodbye. I need your help. He chuckles. With what now? You take a deep breath. I'm going to take down Core. A pause. Prince erupts with uncontrollable laughter. Tears form in his eyes as he tries to bring his code back under control. How? How in Flynn's name do you imagine you do that? I'll work with automata. Oh, I see. You're deluded. That's disappointing. Prince gestures at the door. Grish left just before you arrived, checking on programs, securing the building, doing what needs to be done now your new friend is exploding on a more regular basis. He's scared, putting on a brave yet angry face, but scared. I am too. We all are. He walks over to one of his shelves, inspects the contents as he talks. This place represents order, Query. It is the manifestation of an ideal at the heart of core. Every item in its place, every program fulfilling their role. Casts represents something different. They represent chaos, the lightning in the storm. This is what scares us so. You made an enemy of Grish because you failed to respect our need to protect order. Nothing you have done since has inspired a change in his opinion. You derez Proxy. Well, I think he was rather fond of your decision to derez the pirate, at least. Prince pauses for what feels like an eternity. I have no interest in presenting a barrier to what needs to happen next. You'll let me take Cass from this place? Prince nods. The explosions are unprecedented and my facilities cannot handle them. Core created a situation we couldn't handle. As far as I'm concerned, they already escaped during the second explosion. I can deal with the consequences. I would encourage you to consider your options before making your final choices tonight. Prince will stay out of your way, but yes, I will stay out of your way. I can't promise that Grish will do the same. In fact, I'm certain he will put himself very much in your way. Oh yes. You take one last look around at the knickknacks and pointless detritus of the users of Flynn. The world outside doesn't even know this place exists. This pomp is a call without a response, love unrequited. There's a tragedy to Prince and his zealotry. You hope for his sake he finds another path one day. You leave, knowing that there's only one place you need to be. Oh, interesting. Grish is still in an unknown location. Landing pad. Yeah. If by what you mean, like, getting a bit, like, say, anti-religious or something like that. Yeah. I can definitely see it. Not too much of a fan of it myself. But, it is important to remember this isn't, you know, it's not really even a perfect allegory even, anyway. But, anyway, for a moment the sky is clear above the landing pad. You see Cass sat at its edge, feet hanging over. They turn to you as you approach. Hello. You smile. Hello, Cass. They return your smile. Is that my name? You know confusion cross their face. Do we know each other? You stand next to them, looking out the city below. It's different than it was earlier. More fragile. My name's Query. That's right, you're a detective? You nod. They smile. Are you here to help me? I hope so. Cass looks a little frightened. They hold on a little tighter to the edge of the pad. Have you been down there? It's so beautiful. So intricate. It's so beautiful, so intricate. The light of hundreds of thousands of programs mingling, glowing together. I wish I remembered what it was like to be there. You realize there's every chance that they've never actually set foot on the ground. I need you to help me remember. You can rebuild identity disks, right? You nod. They take the disc from their back. Please. This will be a little faster now, as you already know who Cass is, and the view seems to be anchoring them. Are you sure you want to know? I am. You take the disc, weigh it in your hands. Defrag. Skip. Cass puts their heads in their hands as memories wash over them. They begin crying. Console them. Remain distant. You keep your distance. You look at their disk. You never worked with one like it. Impossible complexities, unimaginable data density. You just dropped a lot of knowledge on Cass all at once. You might be out of your depth. You're definitely out of your depth. What do you want to do? Pause in the tears. I don't know. Not a long pause. Cass looks up. I don't think I've ever been outside without rain before. They seem startled by it. They kept you locked up for a long time, didn't they? Cass looks at their hands. Too long. They wipe their face with a sleeve. Sniff. I'm worried there aren't many cycles left. Maybe you're wrong. Cass offers a kind smile. Maybe. That'd honestly be the best scenario, right? You can tell they're not convinced, and from what you've seen of their disc, you're not either. We need backups, Query. I need you to copy my observations, my knowledge of what's coming. I'm an unreliable vessel for it. But then I'll explode. Cass laughs. No, because you still think it's a solvable problem. The overload only happens to those with too much foresight to experience hope. It's a massive flaw in my code. I'm smart enough to realize, but also too smart to dismiss. That's a pretty arrogant position to take. They ponder that. We'll see, I suppose. They gesture to their disc, still held firmly in your right hand. Copy it. You nod, taking your own disc from their back and placing the two on top of each other. Here goes nothing. Defrag. Skip. As you hand back Cass's disc to them, your eyes pulse. So much new data. Much of it is decipherable, but another program will understand it if it comes to that. Cass smiles. How does that feel? Confusing. Now it's their turn to reassure. You don't need to read the data. Let it sit within you until someone else needs it. Yeah, it's important to remember. I mean, not only is it not a perfect allegory, but also with how the story is going, it does still make sense and stuff. But yeah, like it is kind of yeah. You act like you're not gonna make it. Cass looks down at the grid and says nothing. You refuse Grish's help? Okay, so yeah, this confirms that the confrontation is all determined on whether or not you refused whether or not you accepted Grish's help at the beginning. The rain starts up again. At that moment, Grish bursts through the door to the landing pad. Stop! Hands where I can see them. Cass raises their hands. It's okay. It isn't. What's wrong, Grish? Grish draws his disc. I've tolerated you for long enough, Query. Cass comes with me. We're going to head back to the vault. You'll be safe. More importantly, the rest of us will be too. Walk away, Grish. He scowls. Now why would I do that? You take a deep breath. I don't like the phrasing of that. You got to get their truth out. It's like there's the truth and then your opinion. But you're a fool. That feels most appropriate now, given that I've done everything that he would like except his help at the beginning. I'm not the one who believes this one can see the end of the grid. I don't believe in premonitions, and I'm surprised a detective would either. Maybe you always hated Core. Maybe this lie plays into that. I'm done talking. Gee, Grish. Grish readies his disc, aiming at Cass. Come with me or it ends here. Stand between Grish and Cass. You block Grish's aim. Get out of the way, program. You feel a brush against your back, your disc being removed, quietly. Grish doesn't see it. Cass swings out from behind you, launching your disc at him. It's an unsteady throw, but it's strong enough. Grish was derezzed. Grish disintegrates into a cloud of energy, blowing like dust across the landing pad. You catch your disc. Cass exhales. God of the Citadel indeed. Now what? And this, I think, is the outcome that I've not seen for Cass. Leave. Now. I don't ever want to see you again. Cass is shocked. What? It'll be safer. Tears form again in Cass's eyes. I see. They don't say another word. They brush past you and towards the entrance. You don't know where they're heading. You hope they'll be safe. You hope everyone else will be safe from them too. Alone, you look back down at the city. You and Cass escaped separately. It's over. It's done. You step outside. The city below is exactly how you left it, utterly ignorant of the events that you've witnessed and impacted tonight. But not for long. You stop, standing in place, the enormity of what has happened firing through you. Out here, alone in the rain, you have a moment to collect your thoughts, review what happened here. You take your disc in your hands, turning it, reviewing it. It certainly needs a defrag, but you've done enough of that already.
You've done enough already.
You activate it, reading your data and thinking about what you saw tonight. The programs you met. You think about the programs you met along the way. Grish. Grish was the first program you met. You dodged the light cycle. Right after he saw you throw yourself to the ground. Not a great impression to make. You refused Grish's help. You didn't need the distraction. Then again, they really didn't didn't know what they were doing. Whoops. Sorry. The writers, that is. Refused Grish's help. You didn't need the distraction of a partner, but he never forgot the slight.
Grish was derezzed. Better him than Cass. Prince. The repository is much a representation of Prince as anything else. His faith and fealty define the possibility space available to you. That fealty wavered. I guess the whole point of just, like, I've done everything that Grish would want except working with him, I guess is just to point out just how angry and petty of a person he is or something. I don't know. That's how I interpret it. That fealty wavered a little towards the end. The affordances he made for you could be a sign that even the true believers in Core can shift in the name of justice. Or perhaps he was just tired. and Core is the main antagonist, of Catalyst. Cass. Cass began as a mystery, but turned into something greater, something dangerous to the grid and to those who would control it. You and Cass escaped separately. Whoever they are, you hope they are safe. You hope everyone around them is safe too. Logs will be written about Cass somewhere. Another data tree is sprouting. A comforting thought. Sierra. Whichever way it had gone with Sierra, he would have your sympathy. A program trapped in an alien set of constraints and politics. He didn't deserve what happened to him tonight. You refuse to help Sierra. You hope that once the dust settles, they'll let him leave. Regardless, he will return. He will remember what Core did. He will tell his people, and it will have consequences. Yeah, I think I remember seeing in like the trailers for Catalyst, like there was like an objective or mission or whatever. It was called New Allies or whatever, and it seems like because, it's like it seems like a friend of my enemy or an enemy of my enemy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, so it seems like maybe Exo gets allies from the Automata or whatever. Ada. Your thoughts on Ada are mixed, and even now you're not sure whose side she was really on. The things you could learn in that library, if ever they let you back in. You did not impress Ada. You imagine her still there, pruning the data, anticipating the new stories tonight will seed. Proxy. You de-rezzed Proxy. You didn't spend much time with the pirate on the landing pad. Her presence would have destabilized your investigation even more than it was already. Still, the resources under her command were impressive. You wonder if she will be missed, and by whom. You wonder if anyone will ever find the user key she was looking for. Again, something I'm wondering if they'll pick up on in Catalyst. You hope not. Think about something else. You keep thinking, the things you learned. You consider what you learned tonight. The grid is ending. Cass saw what they saw, and now you've seen it too. This place, this world, is going to stop. Yeah, we've got like 12 years till the world ends due to climate change. Anyways. Only a few hundred cycles, a couple of user years, and everything you know will be lost. You entertain the idea that something can be done, but you've seen where good intentions can lead. You will be haunted by this knowledge. Core are tightening their grip. Core's enthusiasm for control seems stronger now than ever. You see now that the repository is a prototype for a more regimented grid. It won't happen fast. Feature creep rarely does, but little by little Core will expand their silent oversight. Cass's data is a direct affront to their dogma, information they will seek to limit too. Automata are connecting. Sierra's presence was an indicator. Automata are no longer keeping themselves to themselves in the sprawl. they're reaching out to the rest of society. Their philosophy and questions will gain volume. Yeah, and the automata are atheists, basically. There are many who will find that challenging. Outsider programs are becoming more brazen. A criminal landed a recognizer on a core stronghold tonight. Proxy would not have come if she were not comfortable, if this place did not feel within her grasp. This may be a natural escalation, a reaction to Core's confidence. It will have been noticed by others. Keep considering. You consider something else. The choice is yet to come. You ponder your next move. Core will not be happy with your handling of things. It's likely the DOT will feel similarly. You and Cass escaped separately. You broke out an important asset, then let them run off into the grid. Core will want to know everything you know. You'll team up with Core. You'll find Cass alone. If you can stay ahead of Core long enough, maybe you'll find Cass before they do. How hard can it be to trace a program that keeps blowing things up? Although there is the chance that your help has genuinely stabilized them. They're out there. Only a matter of time. You'll save them. You convince yourself that you can get it right next time. Help them get out of vertical slice to the grid beyond. Vertical slice. Hopefully they'll trust you. You ponder something else. You're ready to leave. You look at your disc. For all the memories of tonight and plans for the future, the thing that matters most is a memory that isn't even yours. Cass's revelation is incendiary. Necessary. Only 2 programs possess it, which makes it precarious. Core will derez you for it if they can. You replace the disc on your back, head forward. A fool, but an explosive fool he remains. Okay. You replace the disc on your back, head forward. This may be the end of line, but it is not the end of your program, or the grid. Not yet. If you've learned one thing tonight, it's that great truths cannot be contained in small boxes. Dependencies and compound errors will always make themselves known. This revelation, this prophecy, won't be contained either. And this is like our first real good look at query. A loop cannot be broken without a change in conditions. Ah, I see. Johnny English. That line right there, a loop cannot be broken without a change in conditions. That is something that is said again in the trailer for Catalyst. You'll find a way. Recompiling. Well, there we go. We got the freaking path for Grish. I guess Bithel does have 2 L's. Found the ending for Grish where he actually, yeah, he still comes for us. Mike Bithel, written and directed by Mike Bithel. And we got the path where the fourth outcome for Cass. Yeah, it's good to play this again with a little context. Oh yeah, there's that person with the very Polish looking last name, Prikaszczyk. Mm. Yeah, basically. Simplified Chinese translator. Huh. Linguistic team, Chinese traditional. Interesting. Right, yeah, because there is traditional Chinese characters and then there are simplified. Walt Disney. So. Oh, you can't? Darn it all. I think I forgot about that. Oh, well, too late. Yeah, too late. Oh well. Let's see. Cut X. Oh, interesting. Wait, what? Hold up. Well, I guess this is a perfect illustration of the kind of nonsensical. Well, I mean, it's not totally nonsensical. Like, it does make some sense, but there still does seem to be this like disjointedness. If like with the route I picked, because look, it says like Grish met you, you refused to work with him, so it goes over here, but then remained your ally, even though it does still say he still doesn't trust you, and then died. What? He light cycle saw that guy. That's weird. Anyway, Cass left alone. Okay. Okay, yeah. So left alone, locked up, survived, and died, I reckon. Prince met you. Stay safe. Ada, she is safe in the library. Sierra met you. You gained his respect, but then you lost it. Remains trapped in the library. Yeah, it's just for the one. And Poxy died. So. That's funny. Config. Okay. Yeah. So I will, yeah, I do agree. I do agree it is a bit disturbing, maybe, or a bit unsettling, where, you know, they're taking, or, you know, kind of the implications or the undertones they're making, that are sort of reflections of, like, you know, considerations these days. But I am still trying to just think of it purely within this context and not like not apply not say, okay, well, this automatically equals or is equivalent to this, like in the real world, like saying, because Flynn isn't going to return in this, that means like it's directly a jab to say Christ isn't going to return. Like, I'm trying to keep it purely within this context because it's possible, it's very possible that they intended it that way. But then maybe they didn't. So yeah. Let's work doing that. But yeah, trying to keep it within the context of this, of like the story itself. But yeah, I guess maybe we'll further see if maybe fears. I think sentiment was the word I was looking for. Yeah. But yeah. Thankfully, though, it is something. It is something to rejoice over that it isn't a perfect allegory, because Christ will return, and He is coming back to judge the living and the dead, and only those who have placed their trust in Him and have repented and have accepted His sacrifice in place of their sin, in place of them to pay for the penalty of their own sin, only they will be saved. So, we can rejoice that this universe is not actually a reflection of what is to come. So, yeah, eating the meat, spitting out the bone, is what you're saying. Yeah, I do agree to I do agree, but again, like I said, we can rejoice that that is not truly what is, like, what this is not a reflection of reality. We can rejoice in that. That's my point. But all the same, yeah, all the same, it would be nice if they, took things a different direction. But yeah, well, that's a bit much to ask these days, isn't it? And I say that I say that not in like a way like you shouldn't. I say it more just like it's a tall order, but that's because this world hates God. So anyway, but yeah, I decided to just play this one last time to go through the routes that I didn't take before, and then also just recontextualize things before I play Catalyst. And also, yeah, I was really excited, and when I saw in the trailer that Query came back, and I wonder if things are actually being voiced, because you did actually hear an exchange between what you find out is Query and Exo, and so I'm wondering if there is actually going to be some voice acting, or if that was just for the trailer. But anyway, that was still cool. But yeah, I think that's all that really. I think I've said everything that needs to be said there. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. As always, God bless, and hope to see y'all next time. Ciao.